Oh, I'm little. I always do that. My bad. Hi. Happy Monday. What's up? I'm on early today and we need to talk because you guys asked me to come on early for Kenzie, and then where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Hello. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing well. It's Kenzie time. I know I decided I wanted to do Kenzie early today. You guys can see me and hear me okay, yeah? Yeah. I know it's a holiday today, so I hope you guys are enjoying your day. What's up? Let's talk before we jump into Kenzie. I did drop the calls from yesterday's live. Was it yesterday? I can't remember, where we covered the Kenzie calls, or the day before, I'm not sure. Actually, that was yesterday. Yeah, exactly, Evie. And I did just drop the video with no commentary. So you can also go listen and enjoy without my commentary, or you can watch the live that I did for commentary. So let's get started. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Debbie. I saw Asane. I saw Evie. What is up? I hope you guys are staying warm. It's about 50 degrees where I'm at, and I was complaining, but not until I saw someone said, oh, and Vanjie. Hi, Vanjie. Not until someone said, it was like 20, I think. Was that what it was? We were talking about the 𝗬𝗎𝗓𝗔𝗔𝗓 case in the chat because we are going to start deep diving that case on top of all the other ones that we are working on. So we got a lot planned out for the week, as per usual. For today, Kenzie's on the books. We have Karen Reed hereafter, and then we have 𝗬𝗎𝗓𝗔𝗓𝗔𝗓, and then we will have Epstein. So I didn't come back for Epstein last night. I was tired, and I wanted to work on a couple other things. I love your commentary. Thank you, Debbie. And hi, Taz Mom. Okay, so let's see. We're not really close to done with these the Instagram messages. I wanted to finish these before we start the text again, so we'll have to figure it out. But don't worry, we're still starting Kenzie text tomorrow. If I have to do two, that's fine. I don't mind doing two different lives. Okay. And as soon as I finish these two, I'm going to start posting them on the Patreon, or linking the post in my community. So anyways, let's get started. We left off with, I believe it was the Nina thread, according to my sources. Let me share the screen. Which side do I want to be on today? I don't know. What do you guys usually do on Martin Luther King Jr. Day? I really just kind of work all the time. Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, let's see. So it looks like with Nina there was, or is that who we finished with? It says Nina, there was just one thread. I don't know if that's accurate. So we'll move on to the next one. Ava. By the way, this is in no specific order. Hey, Alicia. It's slow, but on here. Wait, what's slow? Is it oh, I see what you're saying. I got you, Ellie. I thought you meant like the camera, my lagging or something. Hi, Alicia. Okay, so let's see. So we're moving on to Ava. Somebody named, or actually, I don't know, Ava Drozdowski. I'll just go by Ava. Ava says on January 12th, 2022, responds to Kenzie and says, your outfits always hit. Kenzie says, I love you, but she misspelled it. Ava likes a message on the 13th, and then she says, nah, for real, same, and half of them say minor safety. Oh, I'm sorry. If somebody's confused, thank you. If somebody's confused about what the hell we're doing here, we're because you might be, because not everybody knows we've been going through we're going through different documents at the same time for multiple cases, so I could see how it could get confusing. But we're going through Kenzie's Instagram report that's in the evidence package. So it's different from the text messages. So I just wanted to clarify. Hey, Amy. Amy says, hi, Pumpkin. Hello. Hi, Pumpkin. Thank you for calling me Pumpkin. Can we add the master to that? Pumpkin master, because if you know, you know. Gyp shit. Hi, Psycho. Let's see. So she says, Ava says, not for real, same and half the same, quote unquote, minor safety, responding to Kenzie's story. I don't know what that's about. Kenzie says, for real. Kenzie says, or drugs, when I don't even post them. Ava says, nah, for real, stupid as F. Kenzie sends a photo. Then she says, Jay commented on their account. I'm just a bully. TikTok from now on. Ava says, LMFSO. Kenzie says, nah, I hate TikTok. And then it jumps to February the 2nd. Ava responds to Kenzie's story and says, send the link so I can post it. Kenzie sends a link. And it's a link about create your own survey. I don't know what the hell that link is for. Google Forms. Ava likes a message on, what day was that? That was February 2nd. Then it jumps to March the 7th. Ava likes a message. Kenzie says on July 24th, I'm in love with you, OMG. Ava likes a message on the 25th. So this is like 6 days before the crash. And Ava says, girl, I'm in love with you. Next thread is Julia? Not sure. Remember too, these are usernames, so we won't always have the exact name sometimes. Hi, Tippy. Y'all not yet. Oh, you're correct. Good to see you, Tippy. Okay, so let's see. So let's just go by Karina. Kenzie says on June 29th, LOL. Karina responds and likes the message. Kenzie says, literally love you so much on July 24th. I wonder if they just put some of these in here because they wanted to prove that Kenzie was like in a normal state of mind, you know, prior to killing 2 people. So that's interesting. Let's move on. The next thread is Whistle Wrestling. Says on July 21st, 2022, yo, I am trying to throw another party at my house again. You guys can swim and shit. Also, just BYOB and you can invite people. Kenzie says, when are you throwing it? Whistle says, I am now-ish. Like, it's hot out. We can swim. If not, we can just drink. Kenzie says, how late is it going to go? This is on the 21st. She says, I have dinner plans that I'm doing a photo shoot, then doing a photo shoot at 8, but then me and Dom can pull up. Whistle says, like 11. Okay, bet. Kenzie says, I feel like you shouldn't start at 11. I feel like you should start at 11. We'll try to make it. Whistle says, how about I start at like 8 and end at 1? I got work at 7 a.m. tomorrow, but this summer been boring as hell. And invite as many people as you know. As you want, just have them bring alcohol this time. And also, you know how to make a flyer or some shit so I can post it? Kenzie says, just make it on Snap, but I'll post and see what's up. And yeah, that's probably good. It sounds lit. Whistle says, I can't make shit like that. So send so I can post it too. Kenzie says, I got some people interested. Send all info. Whistle says, okay, sends all info. You can bring swim towels and shit. BYOB. Starts at 8:30, ends at 1. Kenzie says, bet. Whistle says, I am going to be honest. We need girls here. Ah, okay. I see. Oh, man, I remember these times. Hey, HLJ. He says, I'm going to be honest. We need girls here. We have a ton of dudes, no girls. Can you get girls? Kenzie says, is it open? How is it? I'm about to be home. I'll see. Let me know. Oh, wait. So that was on the 21st. My bad, guys. Oh, wait. Okay, it goes into the 22nd. He says, I'm going to be honest. We need girls here. We have a ton of dudes, no girls. Whistle says, can you get girls? She says, is it open? How is it? I'm about to be home. I'll see. Let me know. Whistle says, yes, just come. And whoever. Kenzie says, bet. We pulling up. Me, Dom, Davion. So they were partying with Davion on the 22nd and the 31st. Honest? She's never honest. I know, Abby. She's not. He says, we going till cops. To what? We going till cops? Come. Oh, boy. He says, come. Kenzie says, I can get some girls to come. She says, period. He says, bet. And then he says, people are just starting to leave. Just letting you know. Also, bring a speaker. Kenzie says, should we come? Whistle says, but you guys can just come over and invite more. Kenzie says, can we park in the drive? Is there room? He says, yes. She says, you say Sunday? He says, yeah. He says, let's just get one bigger than the 4th. So start telling people to just start spreading the word. BYOB though. Kenzie says, okay, bet. If you want it to be even more, let you could probably make a flyer. He says, okay, sounds good. I will make one when I get off work. And that was it for the 22nd. And then it goes to the 23rd. I wonder who this is. Hey, Anton. He says, any moves tonight? Kenzie says, I didn't hear about any last night. She says, is your party tomorrow? And he says, on the 24th, it's tonight. She says, bet. I got some people pulling up. Oh, okay, so it got changed. He says, okay, bet. Invite as many as you want. Next thread is 𝗕𝗓𝗃. 𝗕𝗓𝗃 says on February 7th, 2022, hey, girly, it's Gwen. I have something for you. I was wondering when you arrive the building. Kenzie says, OMG, hey, babe, I switched to all online. I don't go to high school anymore. Gwen says, damn, well, I made these goodie bag invitations for my birthday party, and I have one for you. Kenzie says, well, I'll def come to your birthday. When is it? She says, it's February 26th at 3 p.m. Kenzie says, I'll be there. Just send the info. She says, I also want to let you know that because most of my friends are minors and my mom and I agreed, this is a drug and alcohol-free party. She invites Kenzie, but she has to tell her that. That's funny. Kenzie says, of course, girl. 𝗕𝗓𝗃 says, thank you so much. I'm excited. And then February 7th, she says, so the theme is variety. So different foods, colors, music styles. One request I do have is you can wear whatever, just not all black because it's not a funeral. Obviously, I'm excited to see what you wear because you always look drop dead gorgeous. And she says, most of the stuff will be provided. You can just bring your spunk, an open mind, and a drama-free attitude. Okay, that's hilarious because Kenzie's none of these things. And it's like, how many rules to go to a damn party? She is a minor though, so I kind of get it. I know, inviting the rug girl they called dime bag. And you know, even if she doesn't smoke there, she's gonna be lit when she gets there. Kenzie says, I'm so excited. I loved theme parties. This is about to be so fun. Thank you for thinking of me and inviting, gorgeous. What do you want for your birthday? Gwen says, just anything like makeup, perfume, jewelry. I'm not too picky. LOL. She says, sounds good. Gwen says, okay. February 16th. Gwen says, I don't know what annoys me more. The fact I didn't get to give you your goodie bag or that you didn't win best dressed. Was she the best dressed? I don't think so, but to each their own, I guess. You let me know what you think. Kenzie says, I'm literally so upset. I love when she's upset about this because she really wanted it. Oh no, it sounds mean, but no. Evie says no. I don't compared to Gypsy Rose. Oh, barf, says Alicia. She says, I'm literally so upset. This has been the worst day. And then it jumps to, oh, the same day. Kenzie says, how, ... Sends a photo. Gwen says, it's just stupid. And I just focused on the kids of the alumni. Barely anyone knew who these people were unless you're in Strongsville since kindergarten. Kenzie says, literally, she's so weird. I can't. I'm embarrassed. Like the school hates me so much. They do me so dirty. Gwen says, honestly, it's obnoxious. There are 10 times more interesting people that could have one if they would just look deeper than the families and past all the money. Oh, she misspelled something. Oh, interesting people that could have one. W-O-N. Oh, she's misspelled it. Kenzie says, literally. Gwen says on the 22nd, hey girl, so I'm taking head count for my party. Just to clarify, are you coming for sure? Kenzie says, yes, girl, but if something comes up, I'll text you, but I'm planning on coming. Gwen says, okay, thanks, heart. 24th, hello, hun. I have some questions that need professional advice. Okay, well, why are you asking Kenzie for that? Hey, Robert. Gwen sends a photo. She says, what about that color? Kenzie says, send me a pic of your hair right now. It's really pretty. Gwen says, one moment. Sends an attachment. Kenzie says, you can get there easy AF. You should do it. Gwen says, how much would it cost? Kenzie says, let me find the price. Oh, it says SS, but I don't know what that means. I thought it would be price. Then it jumps, oh, on the 24th, Kenzie sends another photo. Gwen says, what would you suggest I get to where I want? Kenzie says, you want exactly like the pic? Kenzie says, highlights and balayage, probably maybe even some low lights. Gwen says, not exactly that, but light, yes. I want a lighter color. She sends a photo. Gwen says, here's another example. Kenzie says, might be like 35, 45 to get your hair there. Gwen says, okay, thanks. She says, hey, curiosity question. Would you be willing to do my nails for my party? Kenzie says, how would you want them? Because I'm not that good at short acrylics. Are you talking about just a manicure or full out acrylic? Okay, if you've seen the Snapchat files, why the hell is she trying to do other people's nails? Gwen says, just a simple design. It doesn't have to be acrylic. Kenzie says, and a pic. Send a pic. Gwen says, okay, one sec. She sends a pic. And another pic. Kenzie says, I could probably do the second one. Gwen says, okay, cool. How much would that cost? Kenzie says, I'll do it for free for your birthday, bitch. She says, I have gems and stuff too. Gwen says, oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you. Then she says, weird thought. Would you possibly like to sleep over at my house tomorrow? This minor girl shouldn't be hanging out with the minor Kenzie. She can do that one hand really good. Yeah, I know, Evie. Kenzie says, I would, but I'm going to a party with my friend. I'm sorry, girl. Kenzie says, I have hella nail colors and cute stuff though. Gwen says, okay, that's fine. I trust you. On the 26th, she says, please don't hate me, Kenzie. By the way, or it says, please don't hate me. Something came up with drama and fighting. I can send you screenshots if you don't believe me, but you can come whenever and I'll do your nails for free still, babe, for your gift. So I'm assuming she's bailing on the party. Gwen says, that's fine. I hope everything turns out okay. Kenzie says, this bee stole my $120 pants. She literally was my friend, but I can do your nails after school one day if you want. I live hella close to the high school. Gwen says, okay, I'll figure something out. Oh, so I don't know what happened after that, because then it jumps to 5:30 and Kenzie responds to the story, Gwen's story, and says, gorgeous. Gwen says, so were you, and thank you. On July 24th, Kenzie says, girl, you a 10. Gwen responds, thanks, but I always want to keep myself humble. Conversation ends there. The next thread is Demonia shoes. Oh no, that reminds me of Kenzie. Gypsy. January 24th, Kenzie sends an attachment and another attachment. She's sending her her pictures to this brand. She wants to model for them. Next thread is Vitaly. Kenzie says on July 11th, 2022, I sent you guys an email. She sends a photo. So it must be some modeling thing again. Because she says, I'm also going to reach out on here. Hey, my name is Mackenzie Shirilla. I'm an influencer and contest creator at Mackenzie Shirilla on Instagram, Baby Kush on TikTok. I absolutely love how you guys work with recycled material. I currently work with a couple of brands and I would love to work with you as well. I usually do gifted collabs and do unboxing, plus I style them. I'm going to attach my media kit so you can learn more about me. Thank you so much and I hope to hear back. She's ridiculous. She's never going to, I know. Hey, Nikki. That was on the 11th. And then on the 23rd, Kenzie sends another attachment. They don't respond. Next thread is YSN. Oh, okay. That was, what the hell? Oh, I got it. Okay. It says July 21st, 2022. Whoever YSN is says, you're drop dead gorgeous. How are you? He says, I forgot you're too, I'm assuming it's a male, but I don't know. YSN says, I forgot you're too famous to respond. I'm sorry. On the 22nd, I forgot how quote unquote cool you are. You know how some of us think that she was like cheating on Dom, aside from like the foot sex she was doing? If you don't know, you need to figure it out on the playlist. I don't remember what live we went. I mean, that came up in the text messages. It came up in the Snapchats. But I remember, I wonder if this is one of the guys that they would fight about in the text message, you know? In the DMs, when Kenzie and Dom were fighting, she would always start following guys on social media and stuff to like piss Dom off, which is messed up. Next thread is Trina. Trina says on January 2nd, 2022, Kenzie responds to Kenzie's story and says, who the F did this to you? Kenzie tags somebody. Trina says, OMG. Kenzie says, I know it's effed. The sad thing is I thought we were friends and she literally told me, go find a new lash tech because she expected me to buy the lash glue. Trina says, what the F? You're providing a service which includes everything needed and the client shouldn't have to get anything for it, especially if y'all are friends. She should have understood. That's unprofessional AF. And then sends emojis to Kenzie's story. And she says, still a bad B. Kenzie said, it was so sad. Thank you, bae. She blocked me from leaving reviews. That's why I posted on my story. Ah, so the lash girl who was charging Kenzie, because remember Kenzie would have reactions to her eyes with the lashes. Was that person being a smart? Yeah, I think so. So Kenzie was talking crap about her. Trina likes a message. And she says, leaving reviews where I'll do it for you. Kenzie said, bro, it's on Style Seat. Like there was a review button and then it was just gone. Trina says, I got you. She says, the button ain't there for me either. And then on February 2nd, and says, Trina says to Kenzie's story, deaf best dressed. Kenzie says, I love you. Trina says, I love you. And then on July 22nd, Trina says, I love your carelessness. Don't give an F what MF's got to say about women hair. Responding to Kenzie's story. Next thread, Billy. April 9th, 2022. Kenzie says, hot. I wonder if this is one of her gay friends. Kenzie thinks she knows all about everything. I know. Hey, Lakeside. Kenzie says, hot. Billy likes a message, sends a bunch of emojis. Billy responds on April 27th and says, OMG, you're kidding, to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I miss you so much, Billy. Billy says, I miss you, baby. Jumps to June 28th. Kenzie responds to where on his story. Or Billy's story. I don't want to say her or she because I don't know. My apologies. Billy says on June 28th, Highlands Throwback in Lakewood, a little vintage store. It's cute. July 22nd, a couple days before the crash. I don't want to assume why people are sharing this post, but if people are sharing over some body hair, actually grow up because it's effing natural and everyone has it. People just need to stay in their own lane and not worry about what everyone else is doing. At the end of the day, you're killing it, living your life and doing your thing. And everyone is simply jealous of that. And that's that. Knowing you, I know you're unbothered anyhow, but I just wanted to let you know that you're everything. And bitch is going to stay mad no matter what you're doing. So keep effing it up, doing your thing, and being that bad little bee that you are. Responding to Kenzie's story. Oh, so somebody was hating on Kenzie because of her body hair. If you watch the Snapchat lives, that would make more sense because she was really hairy in those pictures. No judgment for me either, but yes, that's what I was thinking, Lakeside. That's why I said, is that is one of her gifts. I don't know though. I don't know. Kenzie says, Billy, I effing love you so much. People literally have such a weird version of reality in their head. Like the amount of people that said, thank you for showing what a real body looks like is wild. Like people shouldn't be insecure about that shit. They need to embrace. Okay, but you would degrade Dom's body all the time. No judgment, said Sin. Kenzie does have a little stash. Well, I guess to each their own, you know? Billy says on the 22nd still, likes her message again. He says, or Billy says, 100% agree. I love you so much, baby. Kenzie says, it doubled since that. What does SS mean? Since that SS2. Oh, screenshot? I don't know. Next thread is 404. July 9th. Can I DM you yet? In response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, it works now. Are you interested in a collaboration? Smiley. 404 says, thank you, Jesus. I'd absolutely love that and getting ready to drop some new stuff for summer. Kenzie says, I have about 20K on TikTok. I would love to post a video of me opening the package and I could add a link to your website in my link tree. Is that what you're looking for? 404 likes a message and says, I will message you after work today. Have the best day ever. Kenzie says, you too. June 17th. 404 says, hi, Kenzie. I'm going to plan a photo shoot for 404 in LA. I would love to fly you here for. But also, yes, everything you said would be so much appreciated. I'd love to work with you. Sends emojis. Kenzie says, how much are you offering? I would like to come. I would love to come. 404 says, what do you need to come? Kenzie says, if all expenses are paid, then I would love to come. 404 says, done and done. I'll make sure we have fun in LA. I'll let you know after the 4th of July weekend. We are trying to lock in plans still and get dates set up, waiting for some orders to come in and get made for the next drop. I think you'll love the new style I'm going for. And that was on June 23rd. Then it jumps to July 11th. 404 says, hi, baby. Kenzie doesn't respond. On the 21st, they respond to Kenzie's story and say, OMG. And then 404 on July 22nd says, I sent it to all my friends, responding to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, haha, tell them to follow me. 404 says, roger that, babe. I wonder if that just never ended up, if the plans fell through. Because Kenzie was like, are all expenses paid? Yeah. Hey, Amanda. Thank you, Lakeside, for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate you. You are committed to Meliverse, and I love that. Thank you, Pumpkin. No parole for Pumpkin. That's funny. No parole for Pumpkin. Anyways, so I guess that modeling gig didn't work out. Next thread, Angie. January 2nd. Angie says, OMG, in response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I know. dot, dot, dot. Angie likes the message. Kenzie responds to her story with emojis on February 16th. Angie likes it back. Angie says, love you. March 13th, Angie says, hi, love. I have to ask again where you get some of these fits from. Then sends a photo. Sends another photo. Angie. Okay, sending photos. It says, where are the first and third pants from and second pink hoodie from there? I guess the people in school did like Kenzie's fits. Some of it's like, all right, I think, in my opinion. But I mean, people are asking her here. And it's all the stuff that Dom, I'm sure, paid for. Kenzie says, the first pair of pants are from PacSun. The second pair of jeans is True Religion. And the pink hoodie is from Pink. I got it like 2 years ago. Angie likes a message. Says, thank you so much, love. Do you know the name of the second pants? And then on the 17th, Angie responds to Kenzie's story again with emojis. Kenzie sends emojis. 28th, same thing. Angie says, love it. Kenzie says, I got her when I was 15. So stupid. LOL. Angie likes a message. Says, same, but 14. And then on April 13th, Angie says, love of my life, response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I love you, bae. Angie likes a message, sends emojis. Then on April 27th, what day was that? Yeah, April 27th, responds again to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, you want? Angie says, oh my God, girl, I wish I need a job. Angie says, it's so pretty though. How much are you selling it for? Kenzie says, I got it for $500, but I can negotiate. Angie says, oh, okay. Do you have pics with it on? Kenzie says, I don't. I can take some though. Kenzie says, it's big on me, so I only wore it once in store. Angie says, okay, you don't have to do all of that. It's okay. But if I get some bread, I might cop. Kenzie says, bae, yes, you would look good AF in it. It's so pretty. Angie likes the message. She says, yes. Then it jumps to May 4th. Hey, bae, I was just on your live, but this is a zip up I was talking about buying off you if you're selling it. It's legit one of my dream picks. Sends a photo. Kenzie says, I'm not sure if I'm selling it, but I could try to help you find the exact same one on the pop or something. I love you so much. Angie says, okay, let me know if you find one, bae, and love you too. Thanks for helping. I have to sneeze. Angie says, on the next day, good news. I'm shitting myself right now. I found it, bae. Kenzie says, where? OMG. Angie sends an attachment and says, Macari. Angie says, hashtag #𝗕𝗥𝗔𝗚𝗕𝗙. Kenzie says, BITCH138. I don't know what that means. And then she says, G damn, that's hella pricey. Angie says, I can make an offer for 105. Kenzie says, bro, do it. Angie says, but at the lowest, I must spend it because it's my dream price. Angie likes a message and says, yes. Kenzie says, you better. I can't wait to see your outfit. Angie likes a message. Angie says, love you. And OMG, when I get my job, I was telling my mom I want to buy your prom dress. Kenzie says, I can send you better photos of it when I get home if you want. That would literally be such a blessing if you bought it from me. It's truly a beautiful dress. I just got a different one. Okay, so let's go back to the text messages, which we're going to start reading again tomorrow. But remember that her and Dom got in a fight about this because she got one dress and I think like Dom paid for half of it and her mom paid for half of it and then vice versa, or I can't remember. Then again, Dom paid for it or something like that. But remember, they were fighting about this in the text messages. So here's where she's trying to sell the first prom dress that was $500. What is anyone even doing buying a $500 dress? Like, my parents would never. I don't know. Maybe yours did. I don't know. But for prom, $500 seems like a little much, right? And Kenzie had 2 of them. She was greedy AF. We have covered this before. Angie likes a message, says, oh, and of course, if I got the money, I will buy it this year. It's so pretty. Kenzie says, let me know, babe. Do you need it for prom? Oh, something's behind. Hold on. That smells like pot. Green-eyed says the dress that smells like pot because it's been sitting in the closet where she's always hitting the bong. If you want to see that, that's in the Snapchat files. Angie says, and of course, if I got the money, I will buy it this year. It's so pretty. Kenzie says, let me know, bae. Do you need it for prom? Angie says, I'm still a freshman, so I'll have a bit of time. Kenzie says, OMG, bye. I thought you were so much older. You're such a bad bee. Make sure you really love the dress before you buy it if you do. Angie likes the message and says, thank you, bae. And of course, then it jumps to May 16th. Angie responds to Kenzie's story and says, I'm obsessed with that purse and you. Okay, Angie girl, chill out. Kenzie's not that cool. I sound like an ass. I had a 100 prom dress and I wore it twice. Yeah, I think that's how much mine was. Don't remember, but I definitely know it wasn't freaking $500. That's for sure. I bought one dress, but I rented the others. I wore and bought one done. They had to get it for their pumpkin. Yeah, or else she was gonna stab them. Mine ran around 100 in the 80s. She pressured her parents with Dom, not outrageous threats to get whatever yeah, that's what I meant by that comment I just made. YouTube's gonna be on my ass. I had to work for my dress, said Amy. Okay, Angie girl, stop being a little obsessed. So she says, I'm obsessed with that person, you. Kenzie says, I love you. Angie likes a message, sends hearts. Then on the 21st, she responds to Kenzie's story again and says, OMG. Kenzie says, it was so fun. Angie likes the message, says, that's good, bae. I'm glad you had fun. June 3rd, Kenzie says, the jacket. Angie likes the message, says, I know, right? Kenzie says, it looks so good on you. Angie says, thank you, love, smiley. The 8th, Angie says, the pants, in response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I'm obsessed. Angie likes the message. Then on the 21st, she responds to Kenzie's story again with emojis. June 21st, Kenzie says, I love you. Angie says, likes a message, emojis. Then she says on the 28th, OMG, I meant yes, queen, in response to Kenzie's message. Then on the 21st, this is when Kenzie was being bullied for being hairy. On the July 21st, Angie says normalizing body hair because of Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, hell yes, I'm a hairy bee. Yeah, we know that, Kenzie. We know you're a hairy bee. She said it, not me. Well, I said it earlier, but she said it right now in this text message or Instagram message. Kendra says, cook. Yeah, I'm glad you made it, Kendra. Thanks for being here. Angie likes the message and says, same here. Kenzie sends emojis. Next thread is DXS. Yeah, we'll go by DXS. April 27th, 2022 sends emojis to Kenzie's story. Kenzie responds with emojis. Okay, anything important? DXS responds again to her story. Again on May 24th. May 29th, DXS says, post pics in response to Kenzie's story. Whoa, this is a dude. This is a dude. Okay, so I'm going to remember this date for when we going through the text messages again. I want to know what was going on around this time because May 29th. So listen to this. DXS post pics. Kenzie says on the 29th, stop, maybe soon. DX says, likes a message. Then on June 6th, Kenzie says, Desmo, you're so sexy. Desmo does not sound like Dom. Close because it starts with the D. Who is this? What the hell is going on here? Drinking my coffee. Cheers. I've been on a coffee kick today. Well, that's like every day, but Yeah. Desmo, you're so sexy. I'm sorry, whoever this person is, DX says you, likes a message. Then on the June 28th says duh to Kenzie's story. Maybe it's a girl. I don't know. Desmo sounds like Desmond, but I could just be connecting. Yeah, Kenzie give me cringe. She is cringe. So then Kenzie says on the 28th, shake my head. The middle girl said I can't. Annoying AF. I want to. DX response says, put a sticker over her, bruh. Kenzie says, I'ma just post it anyway. F her, LMAO. DX says, right? The next day responds to Kenzie's story with emojis. Then says on July 4th, OMG, hurry. Kenzie sends hearts. I wonder if this is a male or female. Then on July 19th, Kenzie says, not French. Interesting. And then Kenzie says on, what day was that? The same day, the 19th, July 19th of 2022. Kenzie says, who is this B? Did you kidnap Desmo? Desmo says, ha ha, ha 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 ha. I missed it already. Kenzie says, still fine AF. Desmo says, love you. I don't know who that was. I don't know if that was a male or female. I guess, yeah, Desmond. Okay, next thread. Kaylee. Kaylee says on June 24th, sends an attachment. Kenzie says, if you email the people who made the website, it will take the link down. Kaylee says on the 19th, the link is weird though. I don't think I can. Kenzie says, that's how I got mine taken down, but I don't know if it was the same website. Kenzie says, I'm going to report the account for you. Kaylee says, try to clock it, weird AF. Likes a message. Says, thank you. Kenzie says, what the F, that link mad weird, LMAO. Why the F is it on Google Doc? Kaylee says, right? So like it was a troll account or what? Next thread, Victoria. July 1st, 2022. Weird question, but where's that tea place from your recent? It's so cute. Victoria says, my friend had to bring the teacups, table, etc., but it was at Garden View in Horticultural Park. Kenzie says, I'm obsessed. Thank you. Victoria says on July 14th, hey, I love both of your sunglasses. Where are they from? Sends an attachment. Next thread. That was it for that conversation. Next thread is Gallery of 5. Gallery of V. Sorry. We'll go by Gallery. January 3rd, 2022. Gallery says, hey, what happened? To Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, she fell down the stairs at my party. It was bad. Oh gosh. We still need to do a live on this too. Someone loved those huge sunglasses. Yeah, girl. I don't know who would ever love those, but apparently someone did. It's sad. Okay, so they're talking about the girl that fell down the stairs. This person, Gallery, says, dang. Kenzie says on January 18th, girl, do you not F with me? I want to hang with you. Gallery likes the message. Says, I feel like what happened in the past was the past. I have no problem with you. Of course we can. Kenzie says, oh my God, thank God, because we are for real so similar. And you be dressing like you need a bad B friend. For real, for real. Gallery likes the message and says, LOL, yes, we do have a lot of similarities. And honestly, I hate the school we go to. So yes, I need some B's. I need some B's other than my boyfriend. Kenzie says, literally, I'm with Dom way too much. Don't even get me started with that shitty ass school. I'm so over that B. Gallery says, yeah, we can definitely hang anytime. Just let me know. Kenzie says, yes, I just quit my job, so I'm free all the time. We should smoke before Polaris because we have a whole free hour. Gallery says, so where did you work? And yeah, we can, but I have to take my state test soon. So after that, for sure. Kenzie says, I'm dead. I worked at Dunkin', and is it for Polaris? Gallery says, yes. January 20th, Gallery says, where are we traveling to? In response to Kenzie's story. Then on the 21st says, are you able to switch it because I need to do online? In response to Kenzie's story, Kenzie says, yes, I think I'm a switch. I seriously can't. Kenzie's so dumb. She says, I seriously can't do school anymore because it's so stupid and makes me feel so dumb. Dude, you never did school. People, you were having Dom pay people to do your homework. Like, I don't think school makes you feel so dumb. I think you are dumb, so you can't do school. Kenzie says, and B, I want to go New York or Florida. I just want to go somewhere with good food and good pics. Gallery says, how do you switch? Because I did it last year online and I don't know why I came back. And I was saying I wanted to go somewhere for spring break so bad. Kenzie says, I didn't switch yet. I'm still deciding if I should, but I just talked to Miss Collins about it because I'm seriously struggling bad AF right now and I don't think I'll be able to pass. Struggling. Did she even try? No. Kenzie says, I want to go to Universal Studio. Then on the 22nd, Kenzie says, we should hang this weekend. And then Kenzie says on March 21st, is it your brand? Gallery says no. Kenzie says, if you still need models, let me know. Sorry, let me take a drink. Imagine not being able. Yeah, come on, she didn't try. Some people can't pass, but for whatever reasons, but she didn't try. She was too busy getting high. Gypsy Girl says, hello, I'm here. Okay. And I'm totally in for a rereading of the 30. Yeah, we are. We're starting that tomorrow, I believe. Kenzie says on March 21st, is it your brand? Gallery says no. Kenzie says, if you still need models, let me know. Then on April 9th, Kenzie says, WTF. Gallery says on the 11th, can you find me Von Dutch mini skirt? Kenzie says, what size are you, babe? Gallery says small. Kenzie says, yeah, I'll look. You want tight or flared? Gallery says it doesn't matter. Likes a message. Kenzie sends a link, another link, and another link. Probably send her links to the skirt. Yeah. Gallery says, thanks. Kenzie says, I got you, bae. Let me know what one you get. Then sends another photo. Kenzie says, I just got these. Gallery says, cute. Kenzie sends a photo on the 12th. And then another photo. And then another photo. She keeps sending photos. And then says, Gallery says, LMAO, ew. To the picture. Kenzie says, track was so fun. I miss those days. Gallery says, I'm such a different person now. Oh my God, that was a long ass time ago. Kenzie says, me and you both, girl. Both bad bees, though. Gallery says, period. Kenzie says, did you end up buying a Von Dutch skirt? Gallery says, no, but I need to for a photo shoot soon. So all of these girls during this time wanted to be a model. They're all like trying to model. Gallery says, how long does shipping take when you order off Depop? Kenzie says, it depends on the seller, to be honest. Some of them are effing annoying and some of them ship fast. Most of the people I work with ship fast, but sometimes it will take like a week or two if it's international. Gallery says, okay, if you look into sell them Von Dutch shorts, you got let me know because those are cute. I seen them on your TikTok. Kenzie says, B, they are big. She lied to me. Gallery says, LMAO, what size are they? Kenzie says, I'm sad to be honest. I don't even know. What do they say? What to do? They say small, but they def are bigger than what I'm Then that when I'm home, I can send a video like this B said the waist is a 15, but that's just the width of one side. Got me so mad. Gallery says, oh, well, if you don't sell, get them altered. Kenzie says, V, where are you getting your makeup done for prom at on April 28th? Kenzie says, this one B was trying to charge me 200 and I feel like that's taxed. Gallery says, bruh, I have no idea. Kenzie says, if you know any good makeup artists, let me know, girl. Gallery says, I'm doing a girl named Aaliyah, but she only has 6 p.m. available that day. Sends an attachment. Gallery says, try her. Kenzie says, I'm excited to see your makeup. I found a girl, but thank you, girl. What time are you getting yours done? Gallery says, 10 a.m. I thought since you was selling your prom dress, you wasn't going. Kenzie said, no, I got another one that's cuter. LOL. I rushed and got a dress. I didn't think I would find one, but I got one custom made. Wait, so the $500 dress she wanted was whatever the hell it was. And then she had that ugly one custom made? That puffy one? Let me know in the chat if you thought that was a cute dress, because we've talked about this before. I don't think it was worth it. How much money she's spending on a prom dress. It's just outrageous. Gallery says, same. Kenzie says, V, you about to look so good. I'm excited to see you. Gallery says, I'm literally so nervous. LOL, I'm so excited. May 20th, Kenzie responds to her story and says, oh my God, I love. Gallery likes the message. Thanks, boo. Kenzie says, can't wait to see your dress. Gallery likes the message. June 9th, Kenzie responds to her story and says, where at? Gallery says, Mayfield. Kenzie says, you know when it ends? Gallery sends a photo. Kenzie says, thank you. Then it jumps to July 13th. Hey, girl, did you ever sell them Von Dutch shorts? And then it ends there. Next thread. Double jointed. July 12th. Kenzie sends a link and it says, want to play mermaids? I don't know what the hell that is. That was the only message though. The next thread is, I want to play mermaids. Next thread is from the 3rd. Let's just go by Nat. Nat says on March 29th, emojis. Oh. Earth to Nat. Natalie Shirilla. Remember, we read some with Natalie Shirilla already. So, oh, this is one of her other accounts because remember Natalie Shirilla was saying like, I think she like lost her password or something happened. Her prom dress was not pretty or glamorous on her. She was so spoiled. It was custom made. I'm shook. Who has a 15-inch waist? I guess her. Then, hey Nicole. Okay, so it says, so this is Nat Shirilla. Nat. March 29th. I love you, Mom. Natalie Shirilla. I love you, baby. Kenzie sends hearts. Kenzie responds to her mom's story and says, F me on May 8th. And then sends emojis. And then says, goddess. Nat likes a message, likes another message, likes all of her messages, and then says, I love you. And then it jumps to July 21st. Nat responds to Kenzie's story. It has to be her mom, right? Because she said, I love you, Mom. Who else would she be calling mom? And the name is Earth to Nat. Okay, so let's go down here because it says June 21st, Nat responds to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, my B, I love you. Who's she calling mom other than Natalie? She says, my B, I love you. Why would she be calling her mom the B word? But I guess I wouldn't be too surprised, right? June 21st, 𝗲𝗏𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗧 likes this message. Says, I love you more, boo. This must not be her mom. So whoever she was calling mom must be like a joke. I thought this was not Shirilla, her mom. No, because she says, I love you, mom. Nat says, I love you, baby. And then down here, yeah, she calls her a B. That's why I didn't think that was Natalie Shirilla, but she says, my B, I love you. Or Nat likes it. Says, I love you more, boo. Says, we have to make plans this summer. That's how I know it's not Natalie Shirilla. It sounded like her, though. 2022. No, I don't think it is her mother. Kenzie says, on the July 12th, I'm obsessed with you. Nat likes the message and that's it. So it must have been another friend that she has named Nat. I think that's like the third one or second one, right? Aside from her mom. I think so, but I don't think that was her. Next thread, Brianna. How long have we been live for? Okay. She's calling her friend that's a mom. Oh, is that what it is? I thought maybe just a typo. I was thinking it was Nat Shirilla because her real mom, because remember Natalie said in the previous Instagram messages, I think something about her account being locked out or something like that. I don't remember. Thank you, Gypsy Girl. Just looked up Ertanet, some girl followed by, oh, okay, so some random girl. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Yeah, so it wasn't Nat Shirilla. Good. I was gonna say, ooh, now you're calling her the B word. But thank you, Gypsy Girl. I appreciate you for the super chat. Brianna says, this is a new thread. Brianna says on February 21st, or Kenzie says on the February 21st, bruh, do you remember this game? Sends a picture. Another picture. Brianna says, LMFAO, I think so. I remember the fairy dude. Kenzie says, I want to play it so bad again. They're making a new one. I don't even know why. I just remember playing with you and Brandon. Brianna says, OMG, I'll play it too. I remember 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 I literally play that shit sometimes. I don't even know. Brianna says, please, please. I play movie Star Planet sometimes. You should play 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, it's actually kind of fun. Kenzie says, LMAO, I have MSP too. I'm gonna get that. Brianna likes the message, says LOL. Are you talking about video games? Those aren't familiar to me. July 11th. Kenzie sends an attachment. It looks like it's the Ultimate Trollers account. Brianna says, reacts to it, says LMFAO. I remember that so well. Kenzie says, dude, the good days. Brianna says, exactly. Next thread is stupid idiot. July 12th. Stupid idiot says, hi. Kenzie says, hey. Stupid idiot says, how are you? Kenzie says, good. I'm low-key sick. Shit's annoying. That was all with stupid. Next thread is logs. Log says on June 10th, that's stupid, in response to Kenzie's story. And then says on the 12th, dude, you're just making yourself lose followers. Why do you even care? You really think 2,000 people are really going to engage? You realize they can just follow you back unless you block them? I'm just wondering. It's not like you're famous. On July 12th, 2022, in response to Kenzie's story, Kenzie didn't respond. It's not like you're famous. Next thread, the gray area. Kenzie says on June 30th, sends an attachment, her own story, then sends another attachment And then on July 7th and July 9th, sends more attachments. July 11th. Okay, just sent a bunch of attachments. I wonder if it was like a modeling company. Sophia. January 24th, Kenzie responds to her story. Sophia likes it. February 19th, Kenzie says, I love you. Ugh. Sophia likes the message. Kenzie sends an attachment. Kenzie says, when are you going to pop out in this? Sophia says, bruh, stop. I love that. February 24th, Sophia likes the message. Kenzie says on March 4th, this is the one. Sophia says, yep, likes the message, sends a heart. Kenzie says on March 5th, you're so pretty. Sophia says, all you. Kenzie says on the 9th, I love you, bruh. Sophia says, I love you more. April 16th, Kenzie says, okay, so when are you doing your hair like this? Because you're close. Sophia says, stop, I want to, but I always want to be blonde. Kenzie says, either one, but you need that haircut. You should go blonde for the summer, babe. Strawberry blonde. Sophia likes the message and says, OMG, yes. That would be fire. Likes the message. 17th responds to Kenzie's story and says, yep. Kenzie on May 22nd says, I love you so much. Sophia says, love you more. Likes the message. June 3rd, Kenzie says, I love you so much. Sophia likes the message and says, I love you too. June 22nd, Kenzie says, bae. Sophia likes the message. July 11th, Kenzie says, I miss you so much. Sophia likes the message and says, I miss you more. Who the hell is Sophia? I'm like, this wasn't one of the friends in her drama group. Sophia? Let me know if you guys remember her from anything, because I don't. Next thread is Vaughn Do. I'm just going to go by Vaughn. Vaughn says on July 11th, hey, I know it's been a couple weeks since we met, but are you still down to model for my brand? Kenzie says, I would love to. Likes a message. Vaughn Do says, cool, I've been working on some designs and getting them finalized. I just need to gather models. I'll give you times, dates, and locations. Once it's all good, then we can start. Kenzie says, can't wait. If you're looking for other models, I have a friend who's signed to an agency. She would also love to work with you, and it also gives body diversity if you're looking for that. Vaughn likes the message, says, definitely, I'm down for whoever is down. Send me her profile. Kenzie sends her Rosie's profile. Yeah, they must be desperate. Kenzie says, that's her. She's talented AF. Vaughn likes the message, said, thank you so much. It's been so freaking hard to find female models. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will reach out to her. Kenzie says, I got you. I also have a photographer friend if you're looking for a photographer. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Vaughn says, oh, so then it jumps to September 22nd. So after the crash. Wait, is this the same person? Because it just shows Kenzie sending a bunch of attachments to that Vaughn person. Okay, let's move on. OMW weekend. June 30th, Kenzie sends a link. July 1st, Kenzie sends her story. This must be another modeling thing. July 7th, Kenzie sends an attachment and sends her attachment again. And then again, no response. She's literally sending her stories to Urban Outfitters. Kenzie really wanted to be a model for Urban Outfitters. She's sending them a bunch of links and they didn't respond. She's sending to Gucci. That's hilarious. Next thread is Estelle. Estelle says, damn, to Kenzie's story on July 3rd. Says, fairy girl. Kenzie said, I was going to I was going for fairy, such a compliment. I love you. Estelle likes the message. Next thread, Amelia. Amelia responds to Kenzie's story on July 2nd, 2022. Kenzie says, it's so good, cinnamon honey latte. Amelia says, from where? Likes the message. Kenzie says, town hall. It's my favorite restaurant. Amelia says, I need to go. Kenzie says, you should try all the food is organic and non-GMO, and it's so good. Like the truffle fries are fire. Amelia likes the message, sends emojis, says, definitely looking into it. Thanks, cuzzo. Oh, so it's a cousin. Gucci isn't going to pick the name. I know. Kenzie sends emojis. Next thread is Dion. Dion says on July 1st, hi there, I'm the PR manager for Dion fashion brand. We are French-inspired brand, luxury watch and gold-plated jewelry. Since our Instagram has been very strict, okay, whatever. It says, we are contacting you because we think your image matches our brand. All this and have monetary commission. We can discuss all the details of the influencer program once you're agreed and get paid on once you'll agree. Kenzie sends, they send another link. Kenzie says, I would love to work together. Are you interested in me posting on Instagram or my TikTok? Just tell me more about your overall brand. I would love to know more. This Dion guy sends more information. He says, great. So let me explain a little bit more what we offer. Goes through a bunch of stuff. Paid collaboration. Likes Kenzie's message. Says, let me know if this finds your interest so we can proceed. Lovely. We're excited to collaborate with you. Kenzie says, yeah, that sounds good to me as long as this is gifted or paid collab. I have 20,000 followers on TikTok. I can do unboxing on there if you would like. I'm also open to story or feed post. Dion likes the message, said, that would be great. But at first, I just wanted to clarify some point. I'm afraid that you will back out after hearing this. I hope this will not affect your decision, miss. We will let you handle the shipping insurance so the item will arrive safe. And since we ship our package parcels on time, we need shipping insurance to avoid loss and damage in transit. But it's pretty much nothing compared to what you will get. Plus, I have no doubt that you will get it all back and earn out of this if you share your unique code with families, friends, and followers. Also, once the management approved your candid photo. Also, to help with that, we're going to assure you to engage in 1,000 to 2,000 followers guaranteed on Instagram. You'll only have to pay the shipping insurance one time. We will cover all international and custom taxes, shipping fee, and everything else. If that's completely fine, say yes. That sounds like a scam. Hey, abuelita. Nothing wrong with 15, but Kenzie scores at Goodwill and acts like it's straight off the runway. Exactly. B12. Exactly. Hey, William. Good to see you. Okay, so it says, I think that's a scam. Kenzie says, sorry, I'm not paying for anything. I charge for post. Wow. This Dion person says, I completely understand, but I hope this may address your concern about our shipping fee. We ship the product express and it has shipping insurance. I assure you that you will be loved and amused with our free items. Then says, we realize that that requiring you to pay for shipping insurance is a big ask. So we're obviously losing money by gifting our watch, jewelries, and bikinis for the cost of shipping. But we selected you for a reason. We wholeheartedly trust that your journey as an influencer will help your online presence grow. Kenzie never responds. That sounds like a scam. Here on June 2nd, she's sending, who is this? Chloe sends Skims link. Chloe sends a photo back, says, I need more. This is my little collection. Likes a message. Kenzie says on June 24th, effing sexy. Chloe likes a message, says, I love you. Then on July 1st, Kenzie posts in response to her story, haul time. Chloe likes a message. Chloe says, I need to start posting hauls like you on TikTok. I just sound so awkward, but you make me want to. Your videos are so cute. Kenzie says, girl, just start. You're fine. You'll be blow up. No problem. Kenzie says, and your style is fire. Chloe likes the message and says, oh, I love you. That's literally what I say every time I see your post. Chef's kiss. Next thread is Mallory, May 28th, 2022. Kenzie says, congratulations, B, to Mallory. Mallory says, thank you. And then says on June 9th, STG, in response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, it's so funny. Mallory says, it's hypocritical. Kenzie says on July 14th, happy birthday. Mallory likes the message. July 1st, Mallory says, you look so pretty. Sends an attachment. Kenzie says, I love you, girl. Kenzie responds to her story and sends emojis. Mallory likes the message on the 2nd, says, thank you so much. The next thread is Alex. Let's just go by that. Kenzie says on April 3rd, weird question, but do you know if this place is non-GMO or organic? LOL. Alex responds and says, I have no idea. Actually, I can check if they say it on their website. LOL. It doesn't say anything about non-GMO or organic on their website. I just checked. Kenzie says, damn, okay, it looks good AF there. I'm gonna just call and ask them. Alex says, period. Oh, says period on, so I was on April 3rd, and then on the 19th, responding to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I love you, bae. Alex likes the message, says, I was just there Saturday, LMAO, in response to her story on June 28th. Kenzie says, girl, I didn't know you'd be clubbing. I think I was there Friday. It was fun AF. Alex likes the message on July 1st. Next thread is Rosie. Now, I don't know if this is the same Rosie that we are familiar with, so let's see. Oh, there's nothing there anyways, just one message. I don't think it was Rosie, her friend. Here she is sending her links to her photos to Juicy Couture. Sends all of these links to the brand. So Coffee House says to Kenzie on March 30th, new thread. Hey, Kenzie, I hope you're doing well. I came across your TikTok profile, another one of those stupid promo. Kenzie says, hey, just wondering if your coffee is organic and non-GMO. If so, I'm interested. Coffee House says, yes, our coffee is made of 100% natural beans and the purest of water, no sugar, no other additives. Coffee House likes the message. Kenzie says, is the crop genetically modified? Because I'm on an all-organic diet and I can't eat anything unorganic. I would love to try out your coffee. Coffee House response says, yes, before I ask for shipping details, please send over your email address so I can send formal agreement for you to review and sign. Then it jumps to June 27th. Coffee House says, hi, Kenzie, are you still interested? Kenzie says, yes, sorry, I've been dealing with graduation parties and my media kit. I've been so busy. So sorry for being unprofessional. Let me check my email. Because right now, and then that thread ends there. I don't know if that's a typo. Next thread is Bryn. Kenzie says on June 24th, sexy. Bryn likes the message, sends a heart, says, I love you. That was it. Next thread is M. M responds to Kenzie's story on the May 29th, 2022 and says, congratulations. Kenzie says, thank you. M likes the message, sends, of course. Kenzie sends hearts. June 24th, liked a message. Okay, that was basically nothing. Nisha says on January 20th, hey, bae, let me know how you feel about these boots. Sends an attachment. Kenzie says, bae, the F, you look good AF. Like, the whole fit is so good. Nisha likes the message. Says, oh my God, thank you, love. Says on January 20th, I can tell you're a really good friend. Kenzie says, I try to be, but you better wear that outfit. You got me jealous over here. Then it jumps to March 30th. Kenzie says, obsessed, in response to this person's story. And says, oh, nah. Oh, hell nah. They curled too. Nisha likes a message and says, it made me sick. I hate cancers, she says in response to Kenzie's story on 29th. They're the effing worst, LMFAO. And then it jumps to April 5th. Kenzie says jealous in response to their story. Nisha says emoji and then says, aren't you rich? You can just buy it for yourself. Kenzie says, baby, my boyfriend buys me everything. Ugh. I get so annoyed when she talks like this. No gluten, non-GMO, non-organic foods in prison. Dude, she says she was organic, non-GMO, but remember she kept going out to like Chipotle and Lucas with Dom. So it was like selective. She's annoying. I wonder if Kenzie has a model walk or if she was just trying to be a print model. Imagine her model walk makes me laugh. No, there is. We've seen it on some of the Snapchats. Hey, Nama, good to see you. I hope your daughter's okay. Oh, so I'm here for the Kenzie shenanigans. Okay, okay. I'm glad you're here, Nama. I hope everything's okay. I just spilled my Coke everywhere. Yeah. Says my boyfriend buys me everything. Those hard though. And hard to find. Nisha likes the message. Says no effing way. I love that. I aspire to be like that. Like what? Like a spoiled gold digger? I'm kidding. Not really. Kenzie says, bae, yes, and you are hot AF. You could def be like that. Nisha says, yeah, I'm just trying to have a man send me money without the relationship part. So like a sugar daddy or what? Nisha says, but for real, I thought you were just rich for the longest time. That's actually hilarious. Kenzie was not rich ever. Sorry, I was taking a drink of my coffee. Kenzie says, LMAO, I'm not going to say I wasn't spoiled by my parents, but my boyfriend is a good guy. He spoils the F out of me. He's taking me to Florida next week too. Wow. Nisha likes the message, says, all of that, and you don't even have to post him? Never even knew you had a boyfriend. Kenzie says, we've been together for 3 years, girl. Remember when Dom and her would fight because she would like delete the pictures of her and Dom? Nisha says, never even knew you had a boyfriend. Kenzie says, we've been together for 3 years, girl. He's posted on my account too. Oh, so he is. Kenzie sends that was on 4/7. Then Kenzie sends an attachment on the 7th. Nisha likes the message and says, slay. How did you find a rich boyfriend? Kenzie says, I love you. We went to high school together. We met when I was freshman and he was a junior. Nisha likes the message. Says, oh, I'm a freshman right now. Kenzie said, your time to shine is now, bae. Then on the 19th, April 19th, Kenzie says, what's up? Nisha says, F, I was hoping you would respond. Kenzie said, send me pics. Nisha sends pics. 2 pics. 4 pics. 5 pics. 6 pictures. And says, help me out, bae. Kenzie says, I just got that purple Ed Hardy bag too. A juicy bag is def better though. Nisha likes the message. Sends another photo. Okay, sends 2 more photos. Nisha says, oh, really? Show me what you bought and help choosing between these 2. Kenzie says, that purple Ed Hardy bag, I just bought the same exact one. Kenzie says, the first one for sure. Cute as F. Nisha says, all right, good. She says, I just bought it. Likes a message. Says, I show you the brown and black bags though. Kenzie said, bitch, when it comes to you, when it comes, you need to do a review. Nisha says, oh, a review on here? Kenzie said, TikTok, you should make an unboxing. Nisha says, yeah, smart. I'll show you the 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗂 jeans and other ish I bought. Nisha likes the message. Kenzie says, yes, on the 29th in response to her story, or this person's story, Nisha, assuming it's a female. Kenzie says, obsessed. And then June 24th, Kenzie said, what the F is this account, B? Did you see what else she post? Nisha says, I think she posted a funny conversation years ago. I followed as a joke. Likes a message. Kenzie says, bye. Is that the real women? Vote for Trump lady. And then sends emojis. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Next thread, Melody. Kenzie says April 1st, 2022. Hey, Melody says, hello. My name is Melody. I will send some product pictures to you. Can we promote jewelry first? Then sends pictures. Sends more pictures. Just keep sending photos to Kenzie. Okay, a bunch of photos to Kenzie. So this is another brand. Okay. Lots. Okay, so that was a lot of pics. Kenzie finally says, of course, how many would you like me to choose? Melody says, if you choose jewelry, you can choose 3. If others, only 1 piece. Kenzie sends a photo and sends another photo. Okay, so she's sending photos back. Kenzie says, that would be nice. You have amazing products. Melody says, friend, you need the Chanel bag or the earrings? Melody says, if you need bag, I cannot send jewelry to you, but if you need earrings, you can choose 4-piece earrings. Is that okay? Kenzie says, yes, of course. I'll pick just earrings. Thank you. And then Kenzie sends a photo. Sending photos back. Melody says, okay, please send me the address and your number on this April 2nd. And then on the 3rd, Melody says, hello, dear friend. Do you want to promote our products yet? Kenzie says, oh, sorry, I just seen this. Melody says, please send me your address and number. Thanks. Melody says on the 4th, hello. Kenzie says, Mackenzie Shirilla. Gives her address. Melody says on the 6th, hello, friend. It is difficult to understand the address. Please fill it. Melody tells her what to do. Kenzie puts her address again. Then Kenzie says, emojis. Okay, Melody says, okay, thank you, my friend. Kenzie says, thank you. I'm so excited to review your items. Melody sends heart. Hope we can cooperate. Cooperate? Like collaborate, maybe? Says, Kenzie sends hearts. Then on the 7th says, hey, can I have a tracking number or estimated date of arrival? This brand sends a tracking number, Melody brand. Says, hi, this is the tracking number. Kenzie says, thank you, babe. April the 17th. Hello, dear friend. Did you receive the items? And then they provide tracking info. This is the link. Kenzie says, let me check my P.O. box. I'll get back to you ASAP. Melody says, okay, thanks. Then on the 18th sends more links. And they're saying, hello, dear friend, please post this link. Kenzie says, add it to my link tree. Do I post both or only one? I'm checking my P.O. box right now, so I will get back to you in about 20 minutes. Melody says, one link only. Kenzie says, okay, I posted the link and I'm at the post office right now. Melody says, you received items? Kenzie said, is that 100% the tracking number? Nothing is coming up here and nothing has arrived yet. Melody says, let me check. I don't think it arrived yet, but I'll keep checking every day for it, said Kenzie. Melody said, sorry, thanks. Kenzie says, it's all good. Then the April 23rd, the brand says, hello, dear friend. Did you receive the items? I have seen parcel has delivered. Sends a photo. Kenzie says, right now I'm currently in Florida, but I can check on the 25th if it arrived. Thank you. Melody says, thanks. Kenzie said, it arrived, making a video right now. Melody said, hello, dear. Can you post an individual to introduce our products? Kenzie said, I'm posting tomorrow. I already recorded one. It's in more detail than the video I posted too. Melody says, okay, thank you. Says, hello, is it possible to post video details today on the 27th? Kenzie says, right now I'm blocked on TikTok, but on the 5th, I'm going to post. I'm sorry. This was not planned on being blocked. I have the video recorded and everything. The brand says, oh no, when will you get unblocked? Why are you blocked? I think you mentioned 𝗕𝗥𝗔𝗓𝗏. There are many influencers was blocked by this. Kenzie says, I'll be unblocked by the 5th or even before that. TikTok community guidelines are so annoying. The brand says, okay, thanks. Kenzie says on the 30th, I just want to touch base with you and let you know I'm still going to post. I'm just waiting to be unblocked. The brand says, I know. I also hope you are unblocked soon. May the 3rd, Kenzie says, I posted. I guess they unblocked me early. I just uploaded the earring haul. The brand says, okay, thanks. Then sends a link to Kenzie. Says, this is a list. You can tell me which bag you like, or you can tell me the other item and that you think will be very popular in TikTok. Thanks. I want you to promote our products. There are some products. Kenzie says, yes. Yay. Do you only want me to choose one item? Thank you so much for working with me. The brand says, you can choose 2. Kenzie sends a photo on May 5th, 2 photos. And says, these will do so well. The brand says, are you sure they will be popular? Kenzie says, yeah, by the time I can get them, my engagement will probably be back up. The brand says, okay, I will send items to you soon. Kenzie said, send whenever you're ready. Would you like me to do a video of them together or a video on each individual one? The brand says, I think one bag, one video. Then says, hello, friend. I want you to promote AirPods. Do you use Apple phone? Kenzie said, sure, I never owned AirPods. That won't damage my ears, right? Damage your ears? What the heck? And then she says, this brand seems like very odd. Sends, sure, they will not damage your ears. Sends tracking. This is a tracking number for the bag. Kenzie says, can't wait for review. Then says, I'll review some AirPods then. The brand says, thanks. Kenzie says, the Dior bag arrived. And then says, can you send me the link so I can add it? And then they send the link. Kenzie says, thank you. On the 20th, the next day, the brand says, can you post link in your bio? Kenzie says, yes, I'll do it ASAP. My promise today, and I'm currently getting my makeup done. Adding right now. Then on the 30th, the brand says, hello, friend. Could you promote our swimsuits? There are some pictures. And the person sends pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they went from earrings to purses to AirPods to now bathing suits. They want her to, it sounds really sus. Hey, Ruth. Says, I would love to promote some swimsuits. I will try to upload them, but TikTok could try to take them down. How many do you want me to choose? The brand said 3 pieces. Kenzie said 4 Dior, 7 Fendi, 2 Dior. The brand says, okay. June 8th. Hello, friend. Please tell me your detail address, and it cannot include P.O. box. This sounds shady. Kenzie sends her address. Then the brand says, liked a message, sends a tracking, says, here's the link. Kenzie says, can't wait. This is the link. Kenzie says, I'll record 2 videos. I'll add your link ASAP. The brand says, okay, thanks. This is January 24th. Link is added. Brand likes the message. And that's it for that. The next thread is Gabriella. Kenzie says on June 23rd, what'd she do? in response to Gabriella's story. Gabriella said, kill a baby. Go to the baby post. It's on my story. That's the mom. Kenzie said, OMG, what the F? Let me look. No way. Gabriella says, so sad. Literally lied to the mom saying he was having an allergic reaction to soap. They could have saved him, stopped the brain bleeding. WTF. Kenzie says, I'm surprised I didn't hear about this. Wild. Kenzie says, such a cute little boy too. She did him wrong. Gabriella said, for real, so effed. And the next one is Lioness. Oh, brother, March 15th. She's sending more modeling stuff. Opening packages, petite girls. You guys already know. Petite girls want to see petite girls represented. If you give me the chance, I'll show you why I deserve it. Then says, I have 8,000 whatever followers. All of them are pretty active. This is why I'm trustworthy and think I'm good for a partnership. Sends her information again on the 15th. They respond and they say, hi, beauty. So lovely to hear from you. I'm not looking to activate any new collabs at this time. I'll be in touch. Kenzie says, thank you. I'll be here. That was March 15th. Then May 18th, Kenzie sends again. Oh, so this is a brand who made where she got one of her dresses from. Her graduation dress. So is that the one with the words on it that's in the thumbnail? I don't think they sent her real stuff, 𝗕𝗕𝗆. I really don't. Because that seems crazy. But on here, she says on May 18th, hey, I sent you guys an email. I just ordered a dress and it said it would take 2 to 3 days for my dress to at least get a shipping number, but nothing has happened. This is my graduation dress and I'm getting really nervous. I just wanted to know when this will be coming. Lioness liked a message and says, I hope you're well. Sorry to hear about this. Do you mind letting me know your order number? Kenzie says, yes, here's my order number. Let me know. Then on the 23rd, Kenzie sends an attachment. They don't respond. The next, whoa, I don't know who this is, but it says that one ghost. Ghost says on May 14th, please tell your dad everything is going terrible and the police, CPS, and 696 kids is involved. And I don't see my mother getting custody. And my grandma still has all the power and she isn't letting me out of this. I need someone who would file for custody for me. There's no way out. I either stay with my grandma in a living hell or I just go to foster care. Please let him know right away. Who the hell is this? Kenzie says, oh my God, are you okay? I'll tell them right now. I'm calling him right now. You can literally stay with me. Get back to me ASAP. I'm worried about you. May 14th, Ghost says, the police ended up coming and questioning me. Then CPS lady came and told me I have one option, to either go with my uncle or go to foster care. I chose my uncle and she took me there. Basically, a CPS worker's coming today to decide if I'm going to stay with my uncle or go live with my grandmother. If I end up going back to my grandmother, my life is going to be living hell. I don't have anyone who would take my grandmother to court for custody for me. I told the police and CPS I don't feel safe with her and that I don't want to be with her. They won't take me seriously. Kenzie says, my dad is saying just chill till Monday and my dad will see if he can do anything. My dad also said, don't do anything stupid. I'm always here for you. You can FaceTime me whenever, girl. Ghost likes a message, says, and Kenzie says, just try to stay positive. I feel so bad. Ghost says, I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. Your dad has been the biggest help to me the past 2 years. Kenzie says, we are here for you. You never have to be alone. Ghost likes the message and says on the 21st, hey, can you ask your dad if the school found out anything about him trying to help me? Because my grandma somehow found out and she's using it against my mom somehow. Kenzie says, I'll let you know, girl. Ghost says, thank you so much. And then on June 1st, Ghost responds to Kenzie's story and says, I want sushi. Then on the 13th, Ghost sends a link. Ghost said, can you send that to your dad? Tell him it was a conversation from me and my mom. Kenzie says on the 13th, I got you, girl. Ghost likes the message. 23rd says, hey, let your dad know that I have court today. Kenzie said, will do. Hope everything is going well. Ghost likes the message. That sounds like it's a student. Maybe? I don't know. Sounds like it. Next is Unicorn. Unicorn says on April 1st, hi, babe, in response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, hey, girl. Unicorn says, I know you hate the new juicy clothes, but these shoes eat. Sends a picture. Kenzie said, wait a sec. Where did you get? Unicorn says, on April 1st, TJ Maxx, girl. Then Kenzie says, we need to play. Unicorn reacts and says, OMG, yes. Unicorn says, have you ever played Everskies? Kenzie said, actually, yes, I'm gonna play more though. I'm really bad at it. Unicorn likes the message, says, it helps with my shopping problem. Kenzie says, but I end up buying credits in IMVU, LOL. I have no idea what that is. Unicorn says, I love your character, so deaf, worth it. Sends emojis. May 17th says, Unicorn says, you look so effing good, B. To Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I love you, B. Unicorn likes the message, sends emoji, says, I love you too. Then on June 20th, Unicorn says, you're so beautiful to Kenzie. Kenzie says, I love you so much, bae. Unicorn reacts and says, I love you too. Okay, we'll do one more thread. Jordan says, this is Jordan. On July 11th, 2022, Kenzie says, go around them. Wait. Says, go around them. They need to die. Jordan says, haha, stop. I can't. You're funny AF. Kenzie says, bro, how did you not go around them? Jordan says, honestly, I don't know. I was going to, but then I just hesitated. Kenzie says on January 14th, Jordan, stop right now. In response to the story, Kenzie says, Puppo. Jordan says, yeah, apparently she had cancer and not just liver disease, and the tumor is too big to do anything about it, so we have to put her down today. Kenzie says, holy S, that is the most sad thing ever. I'm sorry, babe. Jordan says, yeah, it sucks. Jordan says, likes a message, says on the 21st, go run. Wait, whoa. So on the 14th, Jordan likes a message. Then on the 21st says, go run your car off a bridge. Kenzie says, I'm dead. I just crashed my car into your car. Jordan says, I hope you die when you do that. What? Then February 3rd, Kenzie says, why the F? Why didn't you post me? Then on February 5th, Kenzie says, whore. Jordan says, I know you are. Slut. Then on February 6th, Kenzie says, wow, I'm showing Mr. T. Jordan says, haha, do it, B. You won't. Jordan said, ugly B. Kenzie says, you would know. Then February 12th, Kenzie says, I love you, babe. What? Are they joking? Jordan likes the message. Kenzie says on Valentine's Day, LOL. Jordan says, girl, so what happened at Polaris with the lady? Kenzie said, bruh. Sends a voice message. Another voice message. Jordan says, dude, low key, I think I was upset because I remember when I was about to go in and then she kind of stopped me and said something about you. It was kind of sus. Kenzie says, literally. She was like, oh, I thought it was Kenzie. Kenzie says, on some weird shit. Jordan says, yeah, Miss Hazan definitely has it out for you. I mean, I don't know what her problem is with you, honestly. Kenzie said, literally, she's so mean. I hate Polaris. She says, I'm for real depressed by the time I come home. Jordan says, yeah, I'm surprised you haven't just dropped out at this point. Kenzie says, I don't want to have hella high school classes. I need credits. I'm just not going to board. Jordan said, true. What's your grade in the class? Kenzie says, I don't even know, to be honest. I haven't looked, LOL. Jordan says, I can wait. I can't wait for the day you go ham shit on her. That would be funny. That would be so funny. Kenzie said, just wait. I've been leaving reviews. Jordan said, oh my God, stop. Send screenshots. I want to see. Kenzie send a screenshot. Jordan says, haha, stop. I can't. That is so funny. Kenzie says, I don't care. F her. Jordan says, I still can't believe she said that she wouldn't hire you right to your face. Like, that is so unprofessional. Jordan says, effed up. Kenzie said, she said I got points off for not wearing makeup too. So this, oh yeah, Polaris is the cosmetology school. Kenzie says, like, what the F? Jordan says, dude, what the F? We weren't required to wear makeup. Like, I didn't wear makeup and I don't get points off for it. Kenzie says, I'm for real upset. Jordan says, call corporate on her ass. Kenzie says, I should. I don't know where to find the number. Jordan says, what store does she work at? Oh. Kenzie says, the one Michaela works at. Jordan said, in Strongsville? Kenzie said, I don't know where. Let me look. Sends a picture or an address link. Jordan says, all I could find was a customer service number, not the corporate number. Like, they're supposed to have the corporate number on the website. Kenzie says, I hate Polaris. February 18th, sends a video. Kenzie says, you have a 3-day break when I'm back. That drink mine. Jordan says, bruh, you and my water, I can't. I don't understand what that means. Kenzie says, bye. And then on 2 days later, Kenzie says, hot, in response to Jordan's story. Jordan likes the message, sends emoji. Kenzie says, whores on February 24th. And then Kenzie responds again to their story and says, to SLUTS. Jordan says, shut the F up. At least I didn't almost get. Okay, so why am I spacing on who Jordan is? Why can't I remember who Jordan is? Because they keep going back and forth. So then on February 24th, Jordan says, shut the F up. At least I didn't almost get expelled from effing Polaris, you dumb B. Kenzie says, wow, I'm telling on you for real. #rude, #snitch. Jordan says, snitches get stitches and end up in ditches. They must be joking, I'm assuming. Because on March 11th, Kenzie said, whores. Jordan says, takes one to know one. Kenzie said, wow, WTF. Jordan sends emojis. Kenzie responds on March 23rd to a story and says, hot. Then says, these are cute. So they must be joking. Jordan says, thanks, babe. Likes a message. Kenzie says on June 19th, are you at work? Can you braid my hair for a photo shoot? Never mind. Jordan says, I do work, but I'm on a 15 break right now, so I wouldn't have time. I only have like 15 minutes left. Kenzie says, oh, okay. I'm trying to have my mom do it, but it is not going good, but I appreciate you. Jordan said, LOL, what time is the shoot? Kenzie said, 11 a.m. I just need it braided tonight, so it's crimped because the photographer wants that shit crimped. Jordan says, I would say I could do it later, but knowing my parents, they won't let me go out after work. Kenzie says, let me know if you end up being able to. I can be whatever you are in 4 seconds. And then, yeah, maybe they are, Alicia. I don't know, but it's like aggressive. This one is with QT. Kenzie says on May 27th, hot ass. QT's likes the message, says that makes 2 of us. Kenzie said, post more. I want to see more. Then on June 16th, Kenzie says, happy birthday, bae. QT says, likes the message, said, thanks, baby. Next thread is Shiffy. Shiffy says, hey, I took some pics of the jeans I talked to you about on TikTok. Sorry about it being so late. Sends pics to Kenzie. And then on March 6th says, the little tag on the back says, let me be. I don't know if you're into skirts, but I also have this really cute denim skirt. Sends a picture. More pictures. continuously sending pics. Okay, so then the denim skirt is by the brand Colt Super Cute Tags. Kenzie said those jeans are on fire. I also really like the skirt, but it probably wouldn't fit. Skirts never fit me. How much are you selling for? 𝗕𝗲𝗃 said, understand I'm iffy about skirts too, because it's large item, shipping cost is more, 75 included shipping. Kenzie says, I'm gonna ask my boyfriend by me and I'll get back to you, LMAO. She's just using Dom. Kenzie says, those jeans are so effing cute. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 says, okay, let me know because otherwise I want to post it on Depop. Sends a smiley. 28th says, March 28th, hey, any updates? Or what? I'm sorry, March 8th. Then Kenzie says on March 9th, you could probably list it, but I'll let you know if he's going to end up buying it for me. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 says, okay, let me know because it's cheaper for you to directly buy through me than on Depop. Sends a link. May 6th, Kenzie says, stop, that's so cute. I love you so much. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 says, of course, I have other few jeans and stuff. I'm not sure if it's exactly your style. I watch your TikToks. They are entertaining, but they also give me an idea on your style and thought you would like these. Kenzie says, I'm stalking your Depop as we speak. You have a good ass sense of style. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 reacts to it, says, thank you so much. Sends more pictures. Then on June 15th says, hey, if you like the zip up, I can sell it to you for cheaper off Depop because they take a percentage. I could do 110. Kenzie says, maybe, let me think about it because I was looking at that before. It's cute AF. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 says, yes, of course. It's medium large on the tag, but I wear small usually, and it fits me around how a small juicy jacket fits. 𝗕𝗲𝗃 says, reacts and says, okay. And then the next thread is by Jeannie's. Kenzie says, hey, just sending the video I made for you guys. Geez, she was talking to a lot of companies off IG. Jeannie says, yes, thank you, Kenzie. Could you please request PayPal money? Okay. Sends a photo. Kenzie says, thank you. Natalie Shirilla is my PayPal. The invoice will be sent over within 1 hour. Thank you for working with me. Smiley, I would love to work again whenever you're ready. Jeannie likes the message. Kenzie's talking to camera clothing. Kenzie says, hey girl, do you source Juicy? Because I've been looking for short sets and I can't find one anywhere. The source says, I do source Juicy. You mean like short sleeve or long sleeve jacket? What's your size and color preference? Kenzie says, short sleeve jacket and shorts, set petite or small in any color. I've been looking so long, I can't find one and they're not shipping to America. Kenzie says, let me know, girl. Camera says, I got you, babes. Bad B says to Kenzie on January 14th, so fine. Or no. Kenzie says, yeah, to Bad B, so fine. Bad B likes the message, says, thank you, baby. January 23rd says, loves it, to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, the wallet, like, stop. I love you. Bad B likes the message, says, I love you more. Bad B says, I pressed the wrong one. In response to Kenzie's story. Kenzie says, I don't even care if you did. It was honestly shade towards AB. Bad B likes the message, says, oh, per. June 11th, Kenzie says, sexy ass. Bad B likes the message. Okay, we're going to end there for this live. Let me write down what page we're on. 7. Okay, so we still have quite a few pages. Actually, we're like halfway through the Instagram text messages. So I think one more live or maybe 2 more lives of these we'll get through these. And then once we finish these, I'm going to schedule a live to finish the oh yeah, I just saw he testified about the interactions he witnessed between her and Dom, looks like against her. I must have missed something. Oh. Okay, so Jordan was Dom's friend. I can't tell because it doesn't have like no last name or anything. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna make another live to finish the Instagram messages, and then I'm gonna make a live for the text messages. I don't want us to get confused on what we're reading. So there's Instagram messages alone, and then there's text messages. So there will be 2 lives, but I'm gonna try to finish these before we go back into the text messages. We've already been live for almost 2 hours, and I have 2 more lives planned for today. So make sure you tap that like button on the way out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And thank you, Gypsy Girl. Oh, Gypsy Girl sent another super chat. Just peeped Rosie's IG. She's living life. Yeah, I know. Partying it up, working out and partying it up while Kenzie's where she belongs, caged like an animal. Thank you, Gypsy Girl. I just saw that super chat. I appreciate you for both. And thank you, Lakeside, for being a member for 3 months. I'm trying to, Alicia. I'm trying. I put in a request for it, so we'll see. We will do more Instagram messages tomorrow and then maybe schedule the text messages in the same day. So we'll see. But we do have more lives planned for later today. So please make sure you hit the like button, turn on your notifications, and then I will see you on the next live. Thank you for being here.